All right, what's up, everybody? So, ESPN Quick Takes talking about Cooper Kupp being informed by the Rams that he's going to be traded. Let's hear what they have to say.
Wide receiver Cooper Kupp has been informed by the Los Angeles Rams that the team will be seeking a trade immediately. He announced on Monday, quote, "I don't agree with the decision and always believed it was going to begin and end in LA," Kupp said in a statement posted to social media. Dan, who should trade for him?
The Houston Texans, the Cincinnati Bengals, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Denver Broncos. I don't believe he's 2021 Cooper Kupp Triple Crown winner anymore, but I think he's good enough to be a really good number 2, 1B, 70 to 80 catches guy. If you're the Houston Texans, Steph and Tank Dell, you don't know what their future is. Your offensive coordinator just came from LA. You need someone opposite Nico Collins. If you're Cincy and you're not going to be able to re-sign T. Higgins, I would love to pair him with Jamar Chase and Yoshiva. If you're San Francisco, you don't know what the health of Brandon Ayuk is going to be for next season. You've got Jennings and Ricky Pearsall. You really need another kind of proven guy at that wide receiver spot. And then Denver with Sean Payton and Bo Nix. I love the way that he can get used in their offense. He will have a market because he can still play.
Here's my deal. I love the Houston Texans. What you said about that, you're absolutely right. With Diggs down, with Dell down, obviously they could use something. But here's the bottom line. Even though this isn't 2021, where he had about 145 receptions, nearly 2,000 receiving yards for crying out loud, 1,947 to be exact, he was absolutely sensational. He's been a shell of himself ever since. He's missed about 18 games since then. We get that part. I'm thinking this. If Dan Orlovsky tells me he's a bona fide, big-time number 2 receiver, what team shouldn't want him? How many teams in the NFL has like 2 big-time receivers? A one and somebody who's so elite as a number 2, he could be considered a number 1 by some other teams. How many teams have that? As far as I'm concerned, if you don't have 2 big-time receivers on your squad, then Cooper Kupp qualifies for consideration. It's kind of surprising that Sean McVay and the Los Angeles Rams have made this decision. Like he said, he didn't agree with it, but it is what it is. I'm just of the mindset that, with what he brings to the table as a bona fide number 2, there's plenty of teams that could utilize him. Why not Baltimore? Why not Pittsburgh? Why not a host of the other teams that you mentioned?
Okay. What Stephen A. Smith is saying is correct. There's probably 31 other teams that want Cooper Kupp. Now, that doesn't mean all the teams are going to be in the running, but I feel like a team that has a quarterback that is under a rookie contract will probably be the team that lands him. I think that it's got to be a contract issue. It's got to be a money issue why the Rams would want to get rid of him. It's not a production issue. I mean, yeah, he has been getting hurt in the last few years, but when he's healthy, he's still a great player. The Rams the Rams have Puka Nacua, so they are set at wide receiver number 1. They must be just looking to move on, looking for cap room. That's the only thing I could think of where I think that he'll end up. Like I said, a rookie quarterback contract. Houston, Denver, those kind of teams are probably early favorites. I wouldn't rule out Arizona. If they want to move on from Kyler Murray. Even if they don't, I wouldn't rule them out. I don't know what's going on with Minnesota and Sam Darnold, but I wouldn't rule him out over there. A lot of interesting moves you can make. I'll tell you where I don't want Cooper Kupp to end up, and it's probably going to be where he ends up, and I'm going to hate myself, and I'm going to hate life. Kansas City Chiefs. I do not want to see that happening. I don't think the rest of the league wants to see that happening. But remember, the Patriots in their heyday, they would go out and just bring in these wide receivers that were thrown away by their former teams. They'd bring in guys, and they would excel there. I could totally see Cooper Kupp ending up in Kansas City. I could also see him ending up in New England. But holy cow, if he ended up in Kansas City, like, what would be the point of even playing next season? The Chiefs would be winning their 4th straight Super Bowl. But maybe he'll end up on the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles will make a big run at him. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. The thing about Cooper Kupp, which is different than the Myles Garrett situation, is Cooper Kupp does not have a no trade clause, so he can end up anywhere. Like, he can end up on the Raiders. He can end up in Jacksonville. He can end up on any team anywhere. He doesn't get to pick his destination. Now, maybe the Rams will do him a solid and let him know these teams are interested. Where would you like to go? Maybe they'll do him that solid just because they like him, but they're not obligated to do that. He could end up in Carolina. He can end up in Atlanta. Like, he can, like, it's really, really endless. That's also why I think, like, you might have a team like Kansas City who's going to, like, break the bank on what they're going to offer the trade just to get him. Just another weapon, just another day at the office for Kansas City. They can afford more draft capital than other teams because they draft 32nd overall every year. So they could trade like a second and a third for Cooper Kupp, whereas like another team might not want to do that because they draft higher and their draft picks are more valuable. Miami Dolphins are another team that come to mind, especially if Tyreek Hill ends up leaving. I could see him ending up there. I don't want to see him ending up there, but it could be a spot for him. The Detroit Lions. Like, just think about Cooper Kupp on your favorite team and what he brings to the table. Even if he's the 3rd receiver on your team, like the number 3. Like if he came to Buffalo, I think he kind of reminds me of the role that like Cole Beasley played for them a few years ago when he was on the team. Cooper Kupp could bring that element to the Bills. I don't think the Bills pull the trigger on Cooper Kupp, but he's going to end up somewhere. And he's going to play at a great level, and wherever he goes, he's going to be productive. And the Rams are going to be fine without him. They have some good wide receivers. They have a great team. Availability is like the most important thing, and it's just something he has not been available for full seasons the last few years. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Are the Rams making a mistake? Should they hang on to Cooper Kupp? Where do you think he's going to end up? Anywhere but Kansas City is fine with me. I don't want to see him on Miami either, but anywhere else, anywhere but Kansas City and Miami. I don't want to see him in the Jets either, or New England. I don't want to see him in the AFC East. I don't want to see him in Kansas City. That's just me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.